Now, you may have seen, if you watch Martin Kovach's Night Shift Scale Models channel, you may have seen him use what he calls a rain marks mixture, where he takes some, I want to say Tamiya Flat Earth and Sky Gray and Buff or Deck Tan. I can't remember which, but he makes this color that's just kind of a desaturated tan. He mixes it with water and just a couple of drops of dish soap, because if you don't put in the dish soap, the paint just clumps up. But when you put in the dish soap, you get this acrylic wash that he uses to paint on rain marks. And you have to build it up in a lot of layers to get it to show, but it works really well and gives you a lot of control. And the beauty of using that over oils or enamels is it dries, I mean, just in minutes, and you can put another coat up and build that up. It may take 10, 12 layers, but you get a lot of fine control over it, and you don't have to wait forever and a day for the stuff to dry. Now, I saw him use that, and so I thought, well, let me try this out, and I mixed up a bottle of it, and I used it. It worked exactly like he showed. But in using it, I realized it worked like something I already had on my workbench. That product, of course, is Vallejo Model Wash. You've probably seen me in my videos, like in the Gladiator video. If you watched part 6 of that, you saw that I used, I think it was this one, this Desert Dust, to give a dusty appearance, to add some rain marks, just like Martin does with his Tamiya mix. These work really well, and they have a huge range of colors. This is just a few of them. I've got twice this many more, and there's easily, I think I remember there's like 30 or 40 different colors. Certainly between 20 and 30, but I'm trying to picture the brochure, and there may be up to 40. They've got a lot of different colors, and some are designed to go well over others, like this dark yellow works really well over some colors. It's actually more of a greenish color. But this is something that you can apply on. If you apply it on straight out of the bottle, it looks fairly opaque at first, and then it dries much more transparent than it is when it first goes on. In its straight from the bottle state, it can leave tide marks if you're not careful. Now, sometimes I want that. There are certain stains that look good with tide marks. That's how stuff often dries naturally. Coffee stains. I've actually put coffee stains on models because I know, especially with a military model, military people drink coffee. So I think sometimes having a coffee stain is fun. But you thin these with water or some other kind of medium, like from Citadel Lamian medium or a glaze medium or something like that. And you thin them down. I just typically use water. You thin them down and they become ultra transparent. And that's when you can start building up those layers to get rain marks and dust effects and all sorts of things. And they're also good, again, with that Gladiator. You may have noticed that when I was weathering the feet, I used this stony, dark Russian textured earth from Wilder, but it wasn't the color I wanted. And in the end, I used, I think, this European dust to change the color of that. So it's also good if you've put down some kind of coat of texturing product or mud kind of product or whatever, and it's not exactly the color you want, then using one of these washes will get it to the color that you want. I also use it quite often as a pigment fixer, because when I put pigments down, anytime you're working with pigments and you put some liquid to them, it's going to dissolve some of that pigment. But if you put this stuff down and let the capillary action work its way around the pigments, and then sprinkle a little more on of the pigments. Again, I did this on the Gladiator, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. Once this stuff dries, it's a fairly solid pigment fixer. Anytime you've got pigments on, if you want them to still look like real texture, mud or something like that, you have to be careful about how much fixer you apply. But this can work really well as a fixer, and you can mix pigments with this to change the color. You can mix it in completely just to use it to change the color, and you're not worried about the texture. Or you can make kind of a clumpy, muddy mess with this and just any kind of pigments. So I found these very handy. Now, of course, the argument could be made that, well, why would you buy something when you can mix up, Martin's Rain Marks mixture, and you can do the same thing with any color? And that's absolutely true. I tend to buy ready-made products just to save time. They are, I got this one at a local hobby shop, $6. They last a long time. So it is definitely a convenience thing. It's, pre-mixed colors, so you're getting the colors that you work, and it's a consistent product. So you have to balance it down to, do you want speed and convenience, or do you want to, do you mind taking a little time and mixing up your own using other products? But I mean, that argument can be made for anything. Why buy enamel washes when you can just get some enamel paint and make your own? It's absolutely true. So that's a decision everybody will have to come to on their own, but I find them really helpful, and I use them for a lot of things. Oh, and I forgot to mention, they're great for splatter effects. You get some paint on, you get some of the product on a paintbrush, and you use like a toothpick to just flick it against the model and splatter. This stuff is great for that kind of splatter stuff. So anyway, I highly recommend checking these out. And they're not too hard to get. If you've got a shop that carries a good range of Vallejo products, even if they don't have it in stock, they may be able to get it for you. And you can find them online fairly easily. So definitely recommend these.